It's Madden NFL 22, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Jags and the Bengals on Monday Night Prime Time.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League takes us to the Queen City of Cincinnati and Paul Brown Stadium right on the banks of the Ohio River. The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd. And they're all set as they'll match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. CD, everybody loves to see the deep ball. We know that. We got a couple of quarterbacks here who can really sling it. Trevor Lawrence of the Jags, Joe Burrow of the Bengals.
I like your point there, partner, because it is back in vogue. And what I mean is taking the shots downfield, because for a long time in this league, it was all about precision passing, the West Coast offense. But now we've got a couple of guys here who'll take some shots downfield, and they have some receivers who can go get it.
Evan McPherson about ready to get this going as we are underway now from Paul Brown Stadium.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
The Jacksonville offense getting ready to begin this first drive, and at the helm, the #1 overall pick back in April, Trevor Lawrence, the rookie out of Clemson.
And for many people, there's a lot of pressure that comes with being the presumptive #1 overall pick for 2, if not 3 years now. But Trevor Lawrence has handled it well. The Jacksonville Jaguars excited to have him in town, to say the least, because they've started guys like Gardner Minshew, Jake Luton, Mike Glennon just in the last season. But let's face it, they now have their franchise quarterback.
And they'll run it. This is James Robinson.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
A loss of a yard there to start out. 2nd and 11.
Lawrence with the handoff to Robinson.
He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar in some discomfort down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Oh, they can't stop.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
Here's Lawrence to throw. He's got his tight end. It's Chris Manhertz.
And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34.
Well, the coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast, too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up 4th down.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10.
Time to see the Bengals offense go to work, and leading them out, the #1 overall pick of the 2020 draft, Joe Burrow, now his 2nd season out of LSU.
And what a rookie season he had indeed. A knee injury knocked him out in Week 11 at Washington. And while the Bengals only won 2 of his 10 starts, I think everyone around the league and anyone who watched the NFL came away impressed. 13 touchdowns, just 5 interceptions, nearly 270 yards a game passing, the 3rd most by a rookie in NFL history.
First down, here's Burrow. Pass incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And that's going to be incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
11.
Now it's Burrow.
Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. This is taken at about the 14. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10.
Charles, as the Jags come back out here on offense, they begin the season 0-2 after falling to Denver in Week 2. That's now 17 straight losses. And it was a promising start in this one, Week 2, though. They scored on the opening drive, 83 yards. They marched it down the field. But Jacksonville managed just 106 yards of offense the rest of the way and lost it.
And before we even get into the stats of the day, Trevor Lawrence had a rough day, the rookie quarterback out of Clemson. I go back to what Urban Meyer's mission is as the head coach. 17 straight losses for the franchise. But he and this crew, they've only been together for 2 of the losses. So somehow he's got to get his team to separate that from us media people coming in saying 17 straight. And he's like, no. We just lost our first 2. Long season left. Let's get it on track. Trevor Lawrence, 1 touchdown, 2 more interceptions, 5 interceptions through 2 games. He's having the rookie bumps that you might expect. I still expect him to turn it around and be a terrific player before the season is over. How about the Jacksonville hosting the Cardinals 2-0? The 2-0 Cardinals, Week 3, and then they head to Cincinnati for a Thursday night matchup.
That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Every time I see James Robinson make a run, as we just saw there, one word comes to mind for me, and that's determined. Undrafted, out of Illinois State, always doubted, and all he did, finished 6th in the NFL in rushing. What a find he was in 2020, and he expects that to continue in 2021.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
Off the play fake, here's Lawrence.
Escaping the pressure right. He's got the 1st down and more past midfield. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a 1st. Well, Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
I think it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right, because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them, they needed to broaden, and they have done it here. Look at what he's bringing to their offense, and now as a defensive coordinator,
you've got some extra work to do to prepare for him and their offense.
On first down, it's Robinson, and he's going to get this inside the 30. Back-to-back nice gains, that one for 14 yards and another first. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and are controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Now a former Buckeye back home. It's Carlos Hyde. And able to break through that initial contact and winds up getting about 3 there. It's second down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
And now they'll throw it with Lawrence.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down.
From the gun, it's Lawrence.
Going for it all. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Trey Wayne's the Michigan State man right there in coverage.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
The kick by Lambeau is good, and the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the 3.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off.
Brandon Wilson to return it. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And back out are the Cincinnati Bengals, losers in Week 2 against Chicago. The Bengals had a chance to be the only 2-0 team in the AFC North, Charles, but turnovers had them playing catch-up all afternoon in a game against former Cincy starter Andy Dalton, who left that game with injury, by the way. But it was another close one decided by a field goal, but the ending not as nice to the Bengals as Week 1's overtime victory was.
They've got to find a way to start faster, because with their offensive weapons, they should be doing that. But they were shut out in the first half. Only 2 touchdowns in the game came on their final 2 possessions, less than 7 minutes to play. And you won't see this every week, not at all. Joe Burrow, 3 interceptions on 3 consecutive passes, 1 return for a touchdown, but he did finish with 207 yards and 2 other touchdowns, one of them to Jamar Chase. So there's hope for Cincinnati. The one thing I see, Brandon, you can't just automatically put a W in your column when you play the Bengals right now. This team's getting a little bit better.
And if you look ahead to this week, playing their first.
And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. Malcolm Brown at $3 bills and some change comes in to drop the hammer.
Let's go, baby.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here. as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Josh Allen providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long.
He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
Punting now is Huber as he sends it away. And a fair catch is called for. He will take it in to give his guys some excellent field position here. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. Now the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. They'll run on 1st down. Robinson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle.
From the shotgun, Lawrence.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jones. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
Lawrence to Jones, 1st down, Jacksonville.
And when you draft a rookie quarterback, as the Jags did with Trevor Lawrence, you want a veteran presence for him. And Marvin Jones, he fits the bill. 5 years in Detroit, 10 years overall in the league.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run it now with Robinson. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Now Lawrence.
Flushed out right. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the 1st down marker. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On 3rd down, Robinson. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be 4th down. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence. Open man left side. It's a tight end man, Hurts. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Fourth down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field.
What an excellent end result for them. But let's go back to the decision, first of all, to go for it all on fourth down. A lot of pressure on the quarterback's shoulders, but they knew he could handle it. Makes the right read there, gets the ball to his receiver. They get the first down. It's now first and goal.
Lawrence will throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Marvin Jones there to make the grab. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man in concert.
Josh Lambo now for the point after. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it culminates in a Jags touchdown. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10.
On one, ready?
Check 25, check 25. Hey. 4 down.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
T. Higgins was the intended target.
But it'll be 2nd down.
Well, Charles, looking back to week 2 in the NFL, boy, some quarterback injuries all over the place. Tua for Miami goes down. Indianapolis' Carson Wentz. Tyrod Taylor in Houston. Andy Dalton for the Bears all leave their games with injuries. Even Baker Mayfield had to play through one. Of all of those guys and all those injuries.
And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
On 2, ready?
Check right 54. Right 54. Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Kevin Huber now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been effective so far over the 40-yard mark here in the 2nd quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, Charles, switching gears here, through 2 weeks of the NFL season, only 7 unbeaten teams remain, only 2 in the AFC. If you look at the full list in the AFC, it's Denver and Las Vegas. Over on the other side, Carolina, Tampa Bay, Arizona, the LA Rams, and San Francisco in the NFC. Of that crew, anybody really jump out at you?
Absolutely, it's Las Vegas. And Denver, obviously, undefeated as well. Very impressive. But they beat the Giants in Jacksonville. Las Vegas beat Baltimore at home and went on the road and beat Pittsburgh. That's really impressive. And on the NFC side, how about Arizona? Another big win this week. Kyler Murray keeps getting better and better at quarterback and beat Minnesota at home, getting off to a 2-0 start in the NFC West. That's absolutely huge.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Now Lawrence. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Jordan Evans, the blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
As we all know, a big priority for Cincinnati in 2021 is building up the line on both sides of the ball. They want to protect Joe Burrow on the offensive side, but the defense as a whole only produced 17 sacks last year, the lowest total in the NFL. So getting to the quarterback, as we just saw there, that's a nice sign for the Bengals.
And Lambeau will put this one through, and that'll push the lead up to 13-0.
So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
As they'll take over with just 13 seconds to go before the break.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We saw a strong first half from our quarterback. First up, though, a look at the next-gen stats for Jacksonville in that first half. And the ground game has been a big part of why they have this big lead. And you have to figure they'll lean on it a little bit more in the 3rd and 4th quarters. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bucs set to get the football first, and they trail here as we get started in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Here again comes Joe Burrow and the offense for the Bengals.
And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected, because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. The Bengals drive about to get going.
And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Burrow looking to pass. His throw incomplete. The tight end C.J. Uzomah, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
He completes it to Boyd. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a 1st down.
And there was absolutely 0 pressure on the quarterback on that play. 3rd down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a 1st down pickup.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 10 yards there on a Bengal 1st.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Two 1st downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. He gets this one to Boyd. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down at will.
And Tyler Boyd's one of those guys that seems to fly under the radar, but he finds ways to get open, and he has nice hands. He's averaged right around 80 catches a year his last 3 seasons.
Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down.
There's the rookie from LSU. It's Jamar Chase.
And he's taken down inside the 30. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a 1st down.
And Jamar Chase won the 2019 Biletnikoff Award as the nation's top receiver while at LSU. And the guy who threw him the passes there, Joe Burrow, now his quarterback at Cincinnati.
Now Burrow on 1st down.
And he'll go right back to Chase. That's caught again.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. To the air again, Burrow.
Over the middle, that's caught by Chase.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Burrow to his old LSU teammate Chase for a Bengal 1st.
I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
T. Higgins was the intended target.
That'll bring up 2nd down.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line, and they're definitely not going to start right now.
You can just see the dejection. Feel like nothing is working offensively. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Burrow. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21.
Get him, boy.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw.
A draw play for Mixon. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
McPherson's kick is good.
And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
Here's McPherson now to send it away. Taken from about the 12. And he returns this to the 22.
Come on, fellas. Come on, guys.
Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. Laviska Shenault, the intended target.
And it's 2nd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. Lawrence. The pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down.
Trey Hendrickson. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. It's Jaguar football here, and they'll look to extend their lead as we begin quarter number 4. The Jaguars on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Here's Lawrence.
Under pressure, they got him again. Trey Hendrickson, his 2nd sack of the night.
Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. Now a fair catch called for and taken here, and that'll set up his guys in great field position. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return, and the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a two-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. They will throw on first down with Burrow. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Josh Allen able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
This is our time.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Burrow. Flush to his right. Gets through and now an opening. And he will slide down with a good gain. A heck of an effort there on the scramble leaves him with just 3rd and a yard.
Well, when you've got a quarterback like this dead to rights, you got to make sure to wrap up. Instead, though, he breaks free and off he goes.
Yeah, and at the risk of sounding just a little bit trite, this is just a tackle that needs to be made. It's one thing when you've got a bruising 230-pound running back coming your way, but when it's a quarterback who's running for his life, your teammates will tell you, you've got to get him on the ground.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Muscles him off. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
40 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Man, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
Now Joe Mixon. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And now they will throw it with Burrow. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
This is caught. Touchdown, Bengals. C.J. Uzomah, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Bengals have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Evan McPherson now for the PAT.
And he puts it through there within 3. It's 13-10. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
Throwing now, Lawrence on first down.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Lawrence now off the bootleg. He'll fight his man, Laviska Shenault.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. From the gun, a give to Hyde. And bulldozing his way through. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they will take a knee here.
Second and 11.
A give to Hyde out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble. I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art. but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros. So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.